Imagine embarking on a massive road trip across Europe. Okay, not in a car, but in a cutting-edge electric long-haul truck.
Yeah.
What would that journey truly reveal about the future of logistics?
Yeah.
Especially when, just a few years ago, doing something like that was widely considered, well, impossible.
Yeah, pretty much unthinkable for many. Today we're taking a deep dive into an extraordinary experience. It's the first-hand account of an electric truck driver navigating over 4,500 kilometers across Europe.
Wow.
In a Mercedes e-actros 600, our source material, it comes from the driver's own really compelling YouTube video transcript. It's called 2018 für unmögliches ACH erklärt jetzt fährt der e-actros 4,500 Kilometer durch Europa, from the Electro Trucker channel.
Okay.
And honestly, it's a goldmine of practical insights, stuff that genuinely overturns some, long-held assumptions.
Precisely. And our mission today is to unpack all of that, the surprising realities of range, the ever-evolving charging infrastructure, sometimes frustratingly so, the incredibly complex driver regulations that dictate every single minute on the road, and truly, the sheer grit it takes to push these boundaries of electric long-haul trucking.
It really is grit.
So get ready for some incredible insights, and probably more than a few aha moments. Because what this driver pulled off, like we said just a few years back, people thought it was unattainable.
Right.
And as we unpack this story, you'll hear firsthand just how many conventional ideas about electric long haul are being, turned on their head.
Exactly. This isn't just theory. It's a real-world stress test of the tech, sure, but also the human element behind the wheel. It's providing invaluable data for the whole industry.
Okay, so let's unpack this epic journey then.
Yeah.
The star of the show you mentioned is the Mercedes e-actros 600. That's a heavy-duty electric truck, really pushing the envelope.
It is.
And the scale of this trip, over 4,500 kilometers in a single week.
Just think about that.
Right. From around Madrid, down to Gibraltar, then back up towards Barcelona, into France. That's a massive undertaking for any truck, let alone electric. It just begs the question, can an EV truly match a diesel's range and performance on a run like this?
And this is where it gets really fascinating, because the initial range impressions the driver observed, they directly challenge that major skepticism about electric long-haul viability.
How so?
Well, get this. When the truck was unloaded, with 68% battery, it still showed an impressive 490 kilometers of range.
Unloaded, okay. But what about with cargo?
Right, so even loaded with about 10 tons now in heavy transport, that's considered a volume transport, so it fills the space but isn't maxing out the weight,
Gotcha.
Even then, at 78% battery, the truck still indicated a range of 510 kilometers.
Wow, 510 kilometers loaded.
Yeah, and this isn't just a number on a screen, it's a critical data point. It directly counters that industry skepticism about whether these trucks can handle real long-haul work with a decent load.
That really is a game changer for the business case, isn't it? That's way more range than many people probably expect.
Absolutely. For fleet managers, logistics planners, this shows that route planning for long trips doesn't have to be limited by those sort of outdated EV assumptions anymore.
Okay. And what about the driving experience itself? Sounds like it was surprisingly positive.
It did. The driver found Spain, for instance, incredibly truck-friendly. He described a lot of space on the roads, wide roads, easy parking for trucks with trailers.
Really?
Yeah, he actually called it a dream for a long-haul driver.
A dream. What does that kind of environment mean for, adopting electric trucks? Does it make it easier?
Oh, definitely. A truck-friendly environment, especially with good parking and room to maneuver, it's crucial. For efficiency, sure, but also for driver well-being.
Right.
It cuts down stress, makes charging stops easier. It just smooths the transition to electric. And, a less stressed driver is a safer, more productive driver.
Makes sense.
And the comfort factor was big, too. He mentioned just holding the wheel for 9 hours was not so stressful. That really highlights the reduced physical demands, the better ergonomics in these modern electric trucks compared to older diesels.
And that impacts driver retention, quality of life, huge issues in the industry.
Exactly. Less fatigue means better safety, a more sustainable career path.
Okay, and here's something that really jumped out at me for the bigger picture. He observed the electric truck was just as fast as a diesel for the whole round trip.
Yeah.
Like leaving Monday morning, getting unloaded or loaded in Gibraltar by Thursday, the e-truck kept pace. That's a powerful claim for adoption, right?
Yeah.
No loss in efficiency.
It is powerful.
But I wonder, for fleet managers listening, does this parity in speed come with maybe other trade-offs? Or complexities an electric truck might introduce into scheduling that a diesel wouldn't.
That's a shrewd question. On this specific trip with the right planning, he experienced no overall time loss. That's the key takeaway for logistics. The complexities come more from the how. Integrating charging stops strategically. It's not about a fundamental speed difference of the truck itself. The vehicle can keep up.
So the challenge shifts. It's less about the truck's capability, more about optimizing the support, the infrastructure around it.
You got it. Smart planning, not inherent limitations.
Right. And just quickly, a small perk he noted, which I kind of love, the electric sunblind.
Yeah.
Operated by a button.
Huh. Yeah.
Sometimes it's those little quality of life features that really make a difference on a long shift. Maybe more than the raw power figures even.
Absolutely. It shows attention to the human element, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A comfortable driver is a safe, efficient driver. It's that holistic design approach. Acknowledging the tech is crucial, but the human operating it is paramount. Those touches improve well-being on those long, sunny European routes.
Okay, so the driving. Surprisingly smooth, efficient, on par with diesel. But, as any road warrior knows, the real test often isn't the vehicle. It's the infrastructure supporting it. And that brings us to what became, well, one of his most intriguing and maybe frustrating parts of this journey. The charging conundrum.
Ah, yes, the charges.
You see, the promise from networks like Ionity. They advertise a mighty 350 kilowatts of power. Sounds great on paper, sets a high expectation.
It does, but what's fascinating is the real-world experience. The driver frequently encountered significantly lower rates. Way lower.
Like how low?
Well, it might start, okay, maybe 320 kilowatts briefly, but then it would often drop. 260 kilowatts and then maybe 80 kilowatts. He even saw it go as low as 40 kilowatts sometimes.
Wow, 40 kilowatts. That's low.
Exactly. And that fluctuation, that's a key challenge when you're on a tight schedule. It directly impacts your efficiency, adds stress. It's where the promise of the tech meets the reality of the current infrastructure.
And this is where we hit an aha moment, because the driver, he kind of became a detective, right? Observing, troubleshooting these speeds.
He did.
And he figured out that many stations, even with multiple stalls, sometimes even across the road from each other, they shared a single, thinner network connection.
Right. He suspected it might be just a 160 kilowatt a total line for several chargers.
Like a single garden hose trying to fill multiple buckets at once.
Exactly that analogy. The more things you connect, the less pressure each gets. So as soon as a second vehicle plugged in, bang, the power would effectively have for each.
He saw this happen.
Yeah, firsthand. He even moved his truck to different stalls only to see the power drop again when another car arrived, sometimes not even on the same charging island.
So this raises a huge question then, doesn't it? About communication, transparency from the charging networks.
It really does.
He noted the app still showed 350 kilowatts, even when the station clearly couldn't deliver it.
Which suggests a real need for more honest labeling, right? Maybe say maximal 160 kilowatt, if that's the actual shared limit. You need that to manage expectations, to plan routes accurately.
Absolutely. Without that transparency, drivers, fleet managers, they're kind of flying blind. And that's just bad for adoption.
Totally detrimental. You need trust in the infrastructure numbers.
Precisely. But, okay, amidst these, let's call them infrastructure growing pains, there was a truly record-breaking charge during the journey.
Ah, yes. This was amazing.
The actros 600 pulled a massive charging session. 637 kilowatt hours in just 2 hours.
637 kilowatt hours. Ionity's back-end data actually confirmed it. It was the largest single charging event ever recorded on their network. Apparently, it narrowly beat a Polish city bus by like 0.8 kilowatts.
That's wild. It just shows the immense appetite these big trucks have for energy.
It really speaks volumes about the battery capacity, sure, but also their ability to draw power fast when the infrastructure allows it. That capability, when it's consistently available, that's what makes electric long haul truly competitive.
And the driver's approach to charging was smart too, wasn't it? Strategic.
Very. He planned stops to optimize opportunities, often chose Ionity, partly for its relatively good price, 37 cents per kilowatt, he noted. He also pointed out ideal charging park layouts, like one near Barcelona with lateral stations, plenty of maneuvering space, flexible for trucks and cars with trailers. These design details, absolutely crucial for efficient logistics. Tight spaces turn a quick charge into a nightmare.
Yeah, you can imagine. It's not just about the power output, it's how accessible it is, practically.
Exactly. But even with the fluctuations, he found a quick top-up could be done in maybe half an hour. Or a full charge from nearly empty took just 32 minutes at one efficient station.
So, okay, it's not all doom and gloom on charging, but definitely highlights areas for improvement, standardization.
For sure. Room to grow.
Absolutely. So even with these evolving charging realities, the journey also shone light on another layer of complexity. Not the truck, not the charger, but the rules of the road themselves.
The driver's life.
Let's talk about the intricacies of navigating those strict regulations' personal challenges. We're talking driving and rest times, the Lincoln Ruhezeiten.
Yes, the bane and necessity of every professional driver's existence.
These strict, legally mandated periods of driving and breaks. It's specialized knowledge, critical stuff.
Totally. The basics you learn in driving school, maximum 10 hours driving twice a week, mandatory 45-minute break after 4.5 hours driving, fundamentals to keep drivers safe, prevent fatigue.
Right. But here's where it gets really advanced, like a master class in time management, frankly. The driver revealed this clever practical detail about split rest times. The standard 11-hour daily rest. You can actually split it into a 9-hour block and a 3-hour block.
Yes, the 9+3 split.
And what's fascinating is how he used it. By carefully planning this split, starting the 3-hour rest where a 45-minute break would normally happen, he only loses 15 minutes of effective time, but extends the overall shift time from 13 to 15 hours.
It's strategic genius, honestly.
But how does that level of meticulous planning affect a driver? It sounds like you need to be a part-time mathematician on top of everything else.
You kind of do. You've hit it on the head. It's not just following rules. It's strategic optimization under intense constraints. It adds significant cognitive load. Constant mental calculation to avoid fines, stay on schedule. It's a skill honed over years, often by trial and error, speaks to the incredible mental agility required.
That's right. And beyond daily limits, there are weekly ones too, max 56 hours driving, and bi-weekly limits 90 hours over 2 weeks.
Right. Those structures are crucial, designed to prevent driver exploitation, combat fatigue, keep everyone safe. It shows how regulated this industry really is.
And the real-world application. The driver said he often found himself at the absolute limit of these rules.
Pushing right up against them.
Making intricate calculations. He joked about needing an honorary doctorate just to manage time, reach destinations. It led to moments of just waiting for specific durations just so he could legally drive again.
It's like a complex, real-time puzzle you solve on the fly. Every minute counts.
And of course, even the best plans. Things go wrong. Unexpected hurdles. Traffic jams, like one in Valencia, could completely derail everything. Meticulously planned schedules out the window.
Yep, traffic is the great equalizer.
And adding to that, a buggy Android Auto system in the truck froze the display. Blocked access to essential controls, like climate settings.
Oof, that sounds incredibly frustrating, especially when comfort is so critical, like you said, 35-degree heat.
Exactly. What's the protocol there, and how does a glitch like that impact schedule, safety?
Well, protocol is usually contact support, but on the road, time is precious. A glitch like that, it doesn't just disrupt comfort. It can cause missed deadlines, add stress, even safety risks if the driver's too hot or distracted.
Right.
Given those temps, 35 degrees C, and how fast a cab heats up, that climate control wasn't just comfort, it was essential. For safety, too.
It really highlights that the whole package needs to work flawlessly, not just the core EV tech. The digital systems are vital.
Absolutely vital.
Okay, but here's an interesting contrast. A clear advantage for the electric truck over diesel.
What's that?
Diesel theft. The driver mentioned it's a very, very frequent problem. Huge economic damage from stolen fuel, repair costs for broken tanks, plus safety concerns for drivers.
Oh, yeah. It's a constant worry for diesel drivers.
Electric trucks, they inherently avoid this. Okay, maybe bidirectional charging could theoretically make them a power source someday, but that's not widespread yet. So they just aren't targets for fuel theft like diesels are.
That's actually a really good point. It's a practical, tangible benefit. Often goes unmentioned, but for a driver or a fleet, that's huge. A massive economic and safety win right there.
A silent advantage, adding another layer to the business case.
Definitely.
Okay, let's shift gears now. Actual performance, the future, beyond just this one trip. Recuperation or regenerative braking.
Yeah, the actros 600 system was highly effective, he found.
So that's where the truck converts energy back into the battery when braking, instead of just losing it as heat.
Exactly. And he noted it often prevented the need for the mechanical brakes, even on steep mountain descents. Very efficient.
You did mention a small detail missing.
Yeah, just that while the truck shows recuperation is happening, it doesn't display like negative kilowatt figures for the energy going back into the battery. He felt that was a missing practical detail for really optimizing energy use. A minor point, maybe?
Still, despite that, the energy consumption data from the trip is pretty telling.
It really is. Over the whole 4,500 kilometers, the average was 97.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers.
97.3 kilowatt per 100 kilometers.
For a heavy truck like this, with load, that sounds remarkably efficient.
It is. That kind of efficiency profile, it translates directly into potentially substantial cost savings compared to diesel, moves electric long haul from just green to financially compelling.
Right.
Even the standby air conditioning, which we talked about being essential, used a surprisingly low 45 kilowatt hours over the trip. Highlights efficiency in the auxiliary systems, too.
And talk about dedication to the data.
Yeah.
The driver actually performed a final full charge after the 4,500 kilometers, just to accurately compare total energy charged versus energy consumed.
All in the name of science. His goal was to figure out the precise, usable battery capacity, charging losses. That's real-world data collection, giving us an incredibly accurate performance picture.
And his overall verdict, overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
He concluded the actros 600, mastered it with flying colors, delivered a really cool overall package, said there wasn't a single real problem with the truck itself.
That's impressive.
And achieving an average speed of 70 kilometers over 4,500 kilometers in a week. He stated flat out, more kilometers you can achieve in a week, regardless of power source.
Wow. That's a powerful endorsement. Signals that the impossible is now just about planning and infrastructure, not the tech itself.
Pretty much a game-changer statement right there.
Yeah. And speaking of games, kind of funny, our deep dive noted how Euro Truck Simulator 2, ETS2, is already adding electric trucks.
Right. It's not just a fun anecdote. It shows this cultural integration, growing public acceptance of electric heavy-duty vehicles. They're moving from niche to mainstream consciousness, even influencing future drivers.
He even invited a mod creator to ride along.
That's cool. And beyond the virtual world, he's actively contributing to the real one, too. Developing an e-trucker app, publishing a weekly electro-trucker newsletter.
Sharing insights, helping others navigate this evolving landscape.
Exactly. Invaluable resources for drivers and fleets making the switch.
So, okay, wrapping this up. From navigating those incredibly complex REST rules to dealing with iffy charging speeds and ultimately proving incredible range and parity with diesel.
Yeah.
This deep dive really shows electric long-haul trucking isn't just a future dream anymore. It's a rapidly evolving reality, thanks to pioneers like this driver and vehicles like the actros 600.
The journey proved the impossible is largely about perception and infrastructure, not fundamental tech limits.
Absolutely. This deep dive truly highlighted the meticulous planning, the adaptability, the sheer technical understanding needed for electric truck drivers today. It's way more dynamic and strategic than maybe people imagine.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which leads to the final thought, what new challenges, what innovations will emerge in the next few years as infrastructure scales up, maybe as bidirectional charging becomes common. How will the role of the long-haul driver keep evolving in this electrifying world?
Definitely more to learn and probably more impossible feats still to come.
No doubt about it.